Hi, let me play you some basic blues backup in standard tuning, key of E. So let's go. 3, 2, 1, and... So what happened here? The first basic blues backup is done on the 5th and 6th strings, and I play it with my thumb with a downstroke, and I kind of brush on both strings at the same time. 2nd fret and the 4th fret on the 5th string. If I'd played this just kind of really plain, like twice on the 2nd fret, twice on the 4th fret, without any dampening, without anything behind it, it's going to sound like this. Which is also great. It's a great start. But we can play it a bit more dynamically. Like... So what I'm doing here is I'm both dampening a little bit with my fretting hand and with my picking hand. So the picking hand is doing like every time I kind of brush and play a note, I would place the thumb back on the strings before I pluck it next time. So yeah, that's the first one. The second dampening is on the fretting hand. So each time after I've played a note, I will lift my finger a little bit, but still touching the string. And then I would kind of dampen the bass string with just a slightly touching it here. Or I would dampen it with my, like a ring finger, like this. The third grade of dampening is with the wrist of my picking hand. So I kind of place my wrist of my hand on the saddle and then on the bridge, on the saddle, and then I kind of angle the whole hand so I don't dampen the treble strings, but then the basses are dampened. So all these three things together sound like this. And that's our bass. So if you kind of concentrate and just go gradually one thing after another and add all these three strings, just play very slowly and get into it, get into the groove. I could play this all day. there's a third little aspect of this. I'm playing with my bare fingers here. When I perform live, I would use a thumb pick, only on my thumb. But here, when I play in the studio, when I'm doing live streams, demonstrating stuff, or sometimes when I play live as well, I have kind of 2-3 different colors of the sound on my thumb. The first one is just brushing down strokes very lightly. Then I would kind of play a bit punchier by angling the thumb a little bit more. And then I would add the nail. My nails are very short. It's like 1 millimeter maybe. But I can still angle the thumb like this and then get this. And I used this in one of the licks, but we'll come to that. So the next thing I added was a little hammer-on on the 3rd string, and I play that together with a big bass. Okay. So it happens on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, and then continue with the lick. And that note can be short, I can let it ring, I can play different ways. So, short. So I keep it until the last millisecond before jumping to the 4th fret here. Then I also added this 1st string right after that. Or like that. So it's like, or. And now I let that 1st string ring deliberately, because what I did here, I was kind of made sure that I lift my fretting hand from the string so that, but I'm still keeping the dampening here and dampening on the basses, both fretting hand and the picking hand, so only the 1st string is ringing. There's so much dynamic here. It's so beautiful just kind of be able to control which string you pick, and then it gives you a totally different feel of the groove behind it. Because don't forget, this is either a backup for yourself when you're singing, or a backup for somebody else who's playing a solo. So all kinds of dynamic little touches can be added here. So the turnaround is played between 2 rounds of backup. So that goes like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 2 measures of the turnaround. So the first one I played was on the chord first, and then I kind of forgot the basses, and I just played with my thumb. I played on a 3rd string, or you can vary that with, or, and the reason why I left the basses and didn't play like this, that's also great, but maybe I would alternate that. Once in a song, I'd play the turnaround without the basses, next time with the basses. So without the basses, it kind of gives it a little bit. Then bass, full chord, and then you go to nice dynamic backup. So all of this adds to the groove of the song. So let me play this turnaround very slowly. So it's, so the lick is played on the, and then the E chord, and then I add the thumb on the 3rd string. Then the next variation could be, and all kinds of variations you can come up with. So it's up to you. All right, then I've added some moving basses, which means bass that will lead us from the chord E to the chord A. So, and then we go to the A. So that's happening on the 3rd and the 4th fret of the big bass, E string, and that can be done by playing each note. Then you go to the next chord, or you can just kind of glide it, or in different kind of syncopating ways to jump between the chords. And on the A chord, I had also this lick. So this can be practiced just by itself, like this. So it's this little glide in on the 2nd string, 1st fret to the 2nd, and then grabbing the A7 chord. That would be like a 1, and then on the 2, 3, 4, together with a backup. Let's do it slowly. 2, 3, 4. Or just play short. That's it. So the 3rd lick, which was on the E7 shape here on the 4th fret. So I played that as a triplet, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I went to the 3rd fret, kept the basses pumping. And then I went to the A7. And here was this kind of micro lick on the basses, like a so this thing is kind of, I don't play only the big bass, which kind of belongs to that, because this is E7, right? In this shape. I kind of brush both the E and the A string at the same time, but they're heavily dampened here on my picking hand. So if I'd only played those basses isolated, it would be like, see, it's a little bit dissonant, just a little bit kind of, yeah. And what you can also hear in this shape is that I'm playing the 4th string kind of open and in the background, but that note actually is the 7th of the E chord. So if I would play the E chord like here, then it's really full E 7th chord. But if I'm playing this and kind of emphasizing this lick, because these, I don't know, I like playing like that, sorry. So that was that. Then the next turnaround was this. And back. So that turnaround is happening on the 5th fret, on the 5th string. 3rd string is on the 4th fret, so it's like middle finger, index, and the 1st string is open. So the notes on the 1st string are kind of doubling whatever I'm doing up here. So what I'm doing here also is I'm kind of lifting my fingers from the strings, still lightly touching them, but I'm getting this instead of, that's another way of doing it, of course. Long, nice bass notes, but if I want to play it a little bit punchier, or let's say different in different turnarounds and different rounds of this blues, so I would do like this. This up, down, down, up, up, up. That's the way to do it. And then when it comes to B7 chord, I like to grab it like this. So the thumb is pressing on the 6th string, 2nd fret, and then the rest of the B7 chord. And then the way I played it is like I brush again with my thumb almost all the way down, and then the triplets with the, and everything is ringing. I'm kind of keeping every string pressed down, and the open strings is on the second string. And then to the around, and so on. So the way to reach the B7 chord can also be by playing some basses. So when I come to, then I play the turnaround, and then go back. So what happened here was that I kind of came from the turnaround to this A chord. Then I have this. So it's 3rd, 4th fret, just as when we kind of went from E to A chord, but now we're going to the B. 3, 4, open 5th string, 1st fret, 2nd fret, and right after that note, I go to the hammer on, but now on the 4th string. So why did I play this 1st string open in B? It doesn't really belong there, but it's a way of kind of, I don't know, for me it's creating a nice tension before I really end up on a pure E chord, like a, so it was like a, as if I'm, you know, I am actually longing to come back to that E chord. Right. Yeah, that was it. All the licks and grips I played in this basic blues backup. There's much more to come. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.